Yes.
Hello, everyone. So the topic we're going to talk about today are the different employee incentives, or with other words, the different ways of motivating your employees and stimulate them to put effort into their job and making sure they love doing their job. So what we're going to talk about first is I'm going to start with my own opinion about this topic. So what I think about this, so my point of view is actually that the best way to motivate your people is with things that money can't buy. So for example, by giving your employees flexible hours, or so this can be worth a lot more for them than cash. Or for example, some kind of thank you note to really show appreciation to your employees. So that's what I think about this topic, but I would rather hear from you guys what you think about this topic. So Julie, what is your opinion about this? And do you agree with the fact that money isn't the best way to motivate your employees, or do you think otherwise?
Hello, Laura. I'm also pro non-financial incentives, like you already said. But for example, flexible work hours are a great way to motivate your employees, I think. But also organizing some kind of competition. For example, employee of the month, because I'm also a very competitive person, and I think I would like this. So for my point of view, this one is the most motivating thing you can do. This will lead to a healthy competition, so they will put more efforts in their work.
I agree with Julie and Laura. The most important non-financial incentives are attention from leaders and recognition, but I don't think this is enough. You have to give him opportunities to lead more projects, or for example task forces, so they can have the opportunity to grow in their career. The non-financial incentives that I want to use for my employees are appreciation, but also knowledge of the results, and this can lead to employee satisfaction. If they know that they are doing their job good, they will be more motivated.
I don't agree with you. I'm a pro financial incentive, so I think that employees should be motivated with money or other financial incentives, like for example stock shares, or maybe a bonus. But I can follow your way of thinking. I agree that employees must be thanked when they did a good job, did a good job, but not only by saying thank you, but maybe by thank them by giving them money or other financial incentives.
I have to say that non-financial incentives are particularly effective for workers who are already comfortable with their salaries. If they aren't happy with their salary, they will not appreciate the non-financial incentives. So I can understand the way of Sophie Ann's thinking, but I still believe more in non-financial incentives.
I also think we don't respect them and show appreciation. They won't appreciate the money we give them, so everything should start with appreciation.
I agree with Julie, because the non-financial incentives inspire in ways that money is incapable of doing. Workers must feel welcomed and appreciated so they can perform at their best.
Yeah, so I'm going to interrupt you guys here just to sum up what we already can conclude of the meeting so far. So if I heard everything correctly, I think that on the one hand, we have Julie and Ellen, who are more the pro non-financial incentives. Like some of the examples I've heard are flexible work hours, competitions like Employee of the Month. Also, appreciation from your leader, for example, is very important. Or giving more responsibility and knowledge of the results of the work of your employees. And then on the other hand, we have Sofiane, who is more pro financial incentives. And her statements were that a good job must be thanked with money. And this is way more motivational in her point of view. So yeah, so far we have the group divided in Julie and Ellen, who are pro non-financial, and on the other hand, Sofiane, who is pro financial. So from here on, I would like to hear some more statements. So Julie, maybe you can tell me some more about some examples of your point of view.
Yeah, that's correct. What I also would like to add are some other examples which I'm a fan of. To stimulate your employees are some sorts of presents like retail or travel vouchers, use of recreational facilities, reserved parking space, theater or cinema tickets. I would work for a company and they would tell me that the best employee of the month could win travel vouchers. It will be incredibly stimulated to put in extra effort, and I did do anything to win those vouchers.
I'm sorry, Julie, but I don't agree with you. Because, for example, young families, they have a lot of bills, they have young children, so they need to earn a lot of money. And I think that they would rather have a bonus twice a year instead of having, for example, a company party. So in my point of view, an employee will be motivated when he gets a bonus every month.
I have also another opinion about the non-financial incentives. We can also motivate our staff with non-financial incentives to have a more healthier lifestyle. We can give them the opportunity to do like fun or creative workshops with each other, and this can also motivate how they work together. If they feel comfortable with each other, they will work better, and we can create also a good team spirit.
Yeah, so I hear some very good opinions of both of the sides, but I would like to ask some extra questions. For example, Sofiane, don't you think that motivating your employees with money just will result in a short-term motivation, and this motivation will fade as soon as they get back into their old pattern, and money will just give them a boost on the short term? What do you think about that?
I think that I think that you can give your employees bonuses and maybe make a competition of it. So, for example, the best secretary gets a bonus in that month, and then you go on for the rest of the year, so that it will work on long term.
Yeah, okay, I see your point of view. Yeah, that's true, maybe. And also some financial incentives are giving a car or giving a cell phone, and I think that will really also help on the long term.
Give stock shares, so every year they get some money from the profit that the company makes.
Yeah, that's also a very great idea, and I also think that that will motivate your employees on the long term, instead of just giving or just giving them a raise, because that will eventually result in the same old pattern, I think. So indeed, stock shares or things like that would be more effective. And then Alan and Julie, don't you guys think that financial incentives are more advantageous for people who live alone or are single parents, because they really need the money? Or what do you think?
I think that the best way of rewarding your employees depends on the situation that you are living in. So I'm pro non-financial incentives, but if we are looking at people who needed to make on their own and don't have enough money at the end of the month, I recommend financial incentives first, and after that, when you have enough money, you can look to the non-financial incentives.
Yes, I also agree with Julie that we have to look at their situation at home. But in my opinion, if they don't feel appreciated, they will not work. If they only get money, they will not be motivated to work.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we can say that it's the best to combine the both. So indeed, for people who don't have it as good as other people financially, are better off with financial rewards. But on the other hand, I agree with you, Ellen. If there isn't some kind of rewarding or something like that, they won't be motivated as much to work. So then I have some other questions as well. So what do you guys think in general about student jobs and rewarding them? So do you think that students would prefer getting financial rewards, or would they rather have the non-financial ones? Maybe we could start off with Sofiane. What do you think about it?
I think students would prefer getting financial rewards because they only work in vacations just to make money or to earn money. So I don't think that they need to get non-financial incentives, just financial incentives. Maybe when they do a good job, get a higher earnings.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. Yeah, because I also, a friend of me is working as a student, and they get more money if they sell more. So in that way, that can be a boost. But indeed, I also think that for students, it's the most important thing is just earn a lot of money so that they can do whatever they want.
Because when you're a student who needs to pay their own schools and so on, it's important to have a lot of money, and I don't think they want vouchers to go to a theater, for example.
Yeah, okay.
But
yeah?
But I don't think that's correct, because I think students need also recognition and be aware if they are doing their job better, because they are more unsure than people who already work, for example, like 10 years in one company.
Yeah, I also agree with your point of view. That's very correct, because indeed the students aren't as confident as people who have been working for years. So maybe employers should try to motivate and give the students more recognition as well as only instead of only motivating them with more money. And Julie, what do you think about those two aspects?
I think that I prefer the financial incentives when I'm student, because the only reason that I work is to get more money to go on vacation and other things. So I don't think non-financial incentives are very useful for students. It's better to get to earn more money.
Yeah. Okay. And then just a personal question. If one of you could choose just one way to get motivated by your employer, doesn't matter if it's financial or non-financial, you are free to choose, but what would you choose and why? So which would for you be the absolute number one as a motivational boost? So maybe Julie, you can start off. What is your favorite way?
I think that what I'd like most is the travel vouchers because I'd like to go on vacation, and when you earn some travel vouchers from your company, you have also more days vacation, and not only the 20 or 24 4 days in a year. So I think that will be the best way to motivate myself.
Okay, so you would rather have a non-financial way to be motivated.
Yes, I think that's the best way to motivate
Yeah,
motivate
I also
myself.
think that getting travel vouchers would be very motivating. I agree with you. Alan or Sofiane, I don't know what you guys would like.
I will be most motivated by knowing that I can grow in my career and have the opportunity to get promotion.
Okay, so but promotion, isn't that a financial aspect? I thought that you were more non-financial, or
Yes, but it's also different in which situation you are.
yeah, okay. So for now, you would rather have a promotion as a student, but maybe later on, if you earn enough, you would rather have more things like recognition.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, okay. And Sofiane, what do you think?
I think it's already clear because I really would like a bonus every month or twice a year, for example. And when that isn't possible, a car would also be nice to go to your work or maybe do something for your work with the car. So that would also be a great way to motivate me.
Yeah, okay. I think indeed a lot of students who just finished college or just stopped just got their diploma, they are really looking for a job where they can offer you a car, where they offer you a cell phone and things like that, because otherwise you have so much to pay for at the start of your career, and you also have to pay the bills and things like that. So I really think that students that just got out of school would agree with you, Sofiane, because most of them want a car and things like that. So also, does any one of you think that there's a difference between man and woman? Like, for example, maybe men would rather earn more and get more money, and women would more appreciate non-financial incentives. I don't know. What is your opinion about it?
I would treat them the same because otherwise they will see it as some sort of discrimination.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you, Alan, because I think that men would prefer financial incentives, and maybe women would prefer non-financial incentives. For example, the flexible hours, like Julie said. I think maybe when you have children and you want to be home some more as a woman, it would be nice that you can have those flexible hours.
I agree with Sofiane. I think it's the best way for men that they get financial incentives, and for mothers or women that they get non-financial incentives, that they have more time to spend with their children, or for doing some things in the house.
I agree with both point of views. So maybe we could say that it would be a solution if they could choose. Like, for example, I also think that there are some women who really want to make a great career and want to earn a lot. So I think it would be a solution if they had the opportunity to choose if they can get money or if they rather have flexible hours or things like that. Because indeed, like Julie and Sofiane say, for a mother with children, it's better to get some flexible hours so she can work at home and be with the children. But yeah, if you're a woman and you don't have children and you like to earn a lot, it's also nice if you can choose for financial incentives, I think. So,
Go.
okay, so to conclude, I think that we can say that we all agreed that the non-financial incentives are very effective. They're just effective only if you already make a decent living. So the non-financial incentives are less interesting for people who can barely make ends meet with their salaries. So for those people who don't earn as much as others, getting some extra money is more of a motivator than some thank you note, for example, or recognition, because they can't pay their bills with a thank you note, if you know what I mean. So but if you earn enough, we can say that the non-financial incentives are, in our point of view, a better alternative if you're looking for a motivator that will last on the long term. So yeah, that was our conclusion of our online meeting. I thank everyone for participating, and I hope to be hearing from you anytime soon. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
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 Bye.